Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Omar speaking, and I will talk about the phone that I use in order to make all my videos, right? And it's the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. And let me just start off. I had this phone for 6 months, I believe already, 5, 6 months roughly, whenever it came out on launch, and it's an amazing phone. All right. So let me talk about some things that, you know, could be better, the things that I love, how I use it personally, you know, and let me just straight up say that this is all based on my use, my opinions. I paid for the phone with my money. So, you know, I'm entitled, like I'm able to have my own opinions over it because I paid for it. So nobody's paying me to give their opinions. So I paid for this thing in order to be able to give my honest review, opinions on it, right? So let me start off by saying this is a very amazing phone. It's a good hardware. And there's a lot of people that would say that coming from the 5 to the 6 not worth the upgrade. I mean, that's their opinion. I came from the 5 to the 6 and it was worth it. All right. Noticeably is more lighter, is a little bit more thinner. The screen is a little bit more bigger, right? So, like with all that combined, it makes a big difference. It makes it gives you a different experience with it. Because when I had the Z Fold 5, it was a little bit more heavier. The outer screen was smaller, and it was very narrow, right? This one, that little tiny screen change that they made on it made a big difference in the experience because you start typing and everything on it, and it makes it less possible for you to make mistakes. And keep in mind, I have fat thumbs, right? I make mistakes all the time. So even on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I'm using right now to record, I still mistype, right? So I mean, for those people who are complaining that you mistype here and there, I mean, that don't mean nothing to me. I do it all the time, even with the big phones, all right? On the S24 Ultra that I had, I was mistyping everything for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, right? Let me go down here. For whatever reason, when I try to click on that N, it's always the space. When I try to click on that B or V, it's always the space. I don't know why it's always doing that. So, but mainly with the N, every single time I try to click that N, I always misclick. I'll always misclick and it goes on the space. Same thing happens when I'm using my iPhone 16 Pro Max, right? So, that's not something that, yes, with this phone, because the screen is so thin or anything, it happens with my big phone too. So I'm not even worried about it. I just got to do this backspace and just put the right letter on it, right? So I'm not worried about that. This phone, what I love about it is that I could do two things with it, right? I could use this screen, which is considered the secondary screen, or I could use the big screen, which is the main screen, right? And let me show you. I got Charizard right there, right? So this is the main screen. And then let me show you what happens. So, see? So the outer screen and the main screen, they act like separate phones, right? Like separate identities on it, right? That's what I like about it. So I have one layout here. And when I open up, I have a different one. Now, look. So with this one, you'll find Mewtwo right there and everything, right? So on the lock screen for the inner one, right? But for my other screen, the lock screen is over here with Naruto. So they act like different phones. Like you have two different things going on, right? And they're not they're not the same ones. In my opinion, it's like having two separate phones, right? With the same phone. Same, but different. Right? So that's actually something that's very cool in my opinion. And I like that. Now, the camera could be better. It has the same cameras from 2 3 years ago, where however long it's been. So they could upgrade from that, and for the price, I mean, they could give us better cameras, right? But the main focus on this phone is the fact that you're able to use this big screen, right? That you have a mini tablet over here. So you got a hybrid of a phone and a tablet at the same time. So in a way, you're getting a little bit of both worlds, right? You got a tablet, a phone, and we all know that the tablets don't have the best cameras, right? So you got good cameras. So when you're using your 1X, and I believe it's a 2X or 3X, let me hold on. 3X. So when you're using your 1X and your 3X, it looks really good. There's no complaints there. But when you start zooming in anymore, it goes up to 30X. It's pretty bad. So your 1X, 3X, they gonna look amazing. Anything further than that, you're really pushing it on this phone. So you're not really going to be able to get the best out of it, right? So just stick with 1X, 3X. If you're getting this phone, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look amazing. Samsung does take amazing photos. Doesn't have that 200 megapixel camera, but let's be honest. When I had my S24 Ultra, I never used that 200 megapixel camera. The couple times I did, for whatever reason, I think it was probably me who didn't know how to even use it. The photos didn't come out that good, right? And I always stick to the default, which was the 12 megapixel, right? And the default was the one that you go all the way 100x, but it didn't. I mean, the 100x, for what it was, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great. And so it was pretty much almost useless in a way, but it did help out, being able to see from far, far away. Not that I ever used it that much, unless I was traveling and, hiking and everything. And, like when I was with my wife, and then I was able 100x all the way to the sea and all that, right? Little things like that. But on a day-to-day basis, you're really not using that 100x. The main thing on it, well, where I was trying to get to is like, there's a lot of stuff that we see on paper that looks good, but they're not, right? But the cameras here are good, as long as you stick with 1X and 3X. The 0.6X, it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna say it's good, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it is what it is. But the 1X, 3X, those are good, those are amazing. Yes, don't try to zoom in, because you're not gonna make it. I mean, you're not gonna like it. Now, battery life, I don't know why a lot of people complain about the battery. To me, this thing lasts all day. Like, I managed to make it all day, and at the end of it, at night, I recharge it. And I will tell you one thing: it charges pretty fast. All right. For those people who want to complain about, oh, it only has a 20-watt charger, whatever, right? Charging speed, it doesn't matter. The battery is small enough where it will recharge real quick, right? So I never had problems with that. And trust me, I use this phone a lot. Now, I use this side of the phone 90% of the times. All right. I'm always using the inner screen 90% of the time. And for this phone to last all day, I mean, I have no complaints, right? There's no S Pen on it. You have to buy that separate, which I do, but since I really don't use the S Pen, I'll be honest, I don't use the S Pen on it. So that's why I have this case, because there's no point in carrying the S Pen if I don't use it. right? A lot of people do use it, but I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't. I didn't even use it on my S24 Ultra or S23 Ultra when I had them. So yeah, so to me, that's not something I prioritize in. But if it was there, if it was included, it'll be awesome as long as I could put it inside. But with how we're trying to make these phones a lot thinner, I doubt that's gonna happen. But we'll see, right? I could be proven wrong. We'll see. Now, in the 6 months that I've used it, I've never had any problems with it. Calls are made perfectly fine. Text messages, perfectly fine. My games and everything, perfectly fine. The videos that I record from here and then, they're all good. I never had any problems with it, right? Now, this phone is slim enough, even with the case that I have on it, because it is a slim case, right? Where I could put on the pocket and it's gonna be there, right? It's gonna get lost in the pocket. So, how this thickness to me is perfect. I don't know why people complain about, oh, it's too bulky. Oh, this man, grow up, right? Grow up. This is good enough to me. This more than enough. Is actually feels like it's the perfect size for a foldable phone, because when you open it, you got something that's very thin. Why you want that, right? In my opinion, like there's no reason for it. This is a good size for it, in my opinion. Just get a case with it. If you want something that's very slim, just get a case that's very slim, like Pitaka and all those other Thinborn and Banks, right? Other than that, get a good heavy duty case, because this is almost $2,000. So protect your investments, right? And I did put the Samsung, I believe it's called Samsung Care Plus or Samsung Plus, whatever it's called, on it, just in case, because I do know and I understand that the inner screen, after a while, it will break through, and I'm gonna need that replaced. So, yeah. So I do have it just in case something happens, right? Now, there's not a lot that I could say that I don't like about this phone. Yes, that camera could be better. That's the only thing about it really that I don't like, is that we pay close to $2,000, if not $2,000, depending on when you got it, right? And the cameras are not the S24 Ultra level cameras, right? So that's the only thing about it. But outside of that, this thing is an awesome device. And the AI features on it is awesome. Samsung has mastered it. They made it good. And I'll be honest, it's way better than my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, my iPhone AI is so far behind compared to my Samsung one. All right, Samsung is so advanced on it. I haven't done the Google. I don't know how good Google's AI is, so I can't really talk about that. But I could only compare it with my Samsung phone. And iPhone 16 Pro Max is so far behind. Like, it feels like it's the kindergarten compared to college level AI. That's my opinion. I mean, I have both phones, so I could say whatever I want to say. I own both of them. So yeah, that's about it. Now, with the case, I am using Nillkin, and this is an awesome case. Like, if you look at it, right? You see how, like, you can't even, it's very slim case, protection all over, and it looks cool. Best part, like, it got that frosted finish to it on it. The camera protection, look at that. It got like a little metal ring right here, or I'm not sure if it's metal or plastic, whatever it is, but it looks awesome, right? I like the design of it, how this thing is, and you see, so this thing will, very good hinge protection right here. when you open it up, it's very slim hinge protection, right? Very slim. So I usually use this phone as my GPS navigator. I have it open, always open. Boom, I put it. Yes, it will rock a little bit on it. All you have to do is place it right, boom, and perfect, right? The hinge, since it's not very thick, it will stick well with those clip-on stands, right? So it clicks well, and it will still wireless charge even while open like this. So you'll have this gap right here. It's still going to wireless charge. So I'm not even worried about it, right? It feels very premium. I have not dropped this phone at all. Well, actually, I dropped it one time not too long ago in my room. I don't even know if that counts or not. Really, it was only 2 feet, 3 feet, maybe. I don't know. But, nothing happened. I mean, it's carpet. I mean, I wasn't expecting this thing to break on carpet. But, yeah, it's really good. It feels great. This, if you're into something that's slim, but you want more protection, Nillkin is the way to go, right? And then you got some grip over here. On the back, you have this grip because of the way it is. This protection. You got a little bit of branding over here. Not sure if we'll be able to see it, but yeah, you got a little bit of branding. So you'll say innovation, simplicity, and perfectionist right here. So you got all three of those. You got a grip right here. Your buttons are open up right here, And I believe it has something else. No. Oh, yeah. And then you'll have right here on the back. Not sure if you can see that right here. You'll have the brand Nillkin, right? So, this is a very cool case. So if you have the C Fold 6, remember I had the Taurus case first. The one with the S Pen on the outside. Problem is I don't even use the S Pen, right? So it gave me a little bit more thickness over here because of the S Pen slot. Don't even use the S Pen. So why, right? So I got rid of that one. Then I had the UAG case. The UAG case was so thick, right? But it made it feel like, hey, this is a heavy duty phone, right? And during the summer, Texas summer is so hot, right? And that case melted. I'm not gonna lie, it melted. Like not the case, but the adhesive. The adhesive on the case melted. And then it just came out. And I was like, what the blank, blank, blank? I was like, why? Right? That's how hot Texas was, right? Where it melted the adhesive. So after that one, I went back to my Taurus case, right? Because that one doesn't require adhesive. But like I said, I don't use the S Pen. So why, right? Why? And then I saw this one. I was a little hesitant at first because of the hinge protection. But I was like, because, I use it as a GPS. It's open. And I put it on the stand. And the stand is made so that it'll be flat. Not with the hinge protection. Well, I was like, I'm going to give it a try before I put the adhesive on and everything. Let me see if it works. If it does charge, or if it stays, stable, I'm going to keep it. Well, it's right here. It charges. It stays stable. You just got to be able to put it the right way. It's not like the other ones where I could just put it there. Boom. It will like shut by itself and good. I had to work a little bit with it, but 2 seconds, 3 seconds of my life is not going to make a difference, right? So I'm okay with it. I have a good protection right here. And I believe this is a $40 case. It comes with MagSafe on it, right? And the magnet is pretty good. Ooh, well, it's pretty good if you don't mess with it. Yeah, so no, never mind. The only reason it's pretty good is because I just don't mess with it that much. Okay, but yeah, so the magnet on it is not the best. I take that back. It's not the best. I just never done that before, so I wasn't sure. But for the way I use it, I mean, it's pretty good. It works great. I could put it on my car mount as well. That because I have two of them. I had the one for this phone and the one that I use for my iPhone 16 Pro Max, right? Which I'm using to record this thing right now. And it stays there, right? So it has a decent magnet. So just don't mess around with it. But for something normal, it will be good. Now, yeah, as long as something normal, it'll be good. But it does have MagSafe. It works great. I use the Endoville one. I actually have two of them because I use it for my 16 Pro Max as well. And you know that's the phone I'm using to record this thing. And no, I do have two different cases that I will be talking about later on for my next video as well. But yeah, I just want to talk about this phone first. This is an amazing phone. If you're in the market for it, this is a really good phone. Especially if you're already on the ecosystem, you can't go wrong with it, right? I use it now. If the outer screen protector is something that, I mean, not the outer screen is what is really one thing that will hold you back from it. I will tell you that it's very usable. You're able to do everything with it. There's nothing wrong with it. You're able to do everything outside of here. Even sending messages, text messages, all that stuff, you could do it. It's doable. I have fat fingers, and even on my big screen with my 16 Pro Max, and when I had the S24 Ultra, like I said earlier, when I was clicking on that, when I was trying to press on the end, it will always give me a space. But even with the big screens, it happened. I don't know why it does that with me, but it does. So it's very usable. It's a one-hand use right here, one-hand use and all. I do recommend this phone to anybody who's on the market for it. If you have a Z Fold 5, you don't have to upgrade, but if you do, it's a good upgrade. Battery life all day, every day. Like I said, I only charge it once every day at night whenever I'm already home and I'm done using it. Boom, I charge it. I usually end up with, I want to say, if I have a normal day with it, I'll probably end up with 50%, battery life. If I have a heavy use day with it, I'll probably have like 20%. And the phone charges fast, in my opinion, but that's only because the battery is a lot smaller. So compared to my 16 Pro Max, this one will charge faster, right? Compared to my 16 Pro Max. When I had the S24 Ultra, from 0 to 100, this one would charge faster. I mean, it would charge, yeah, it would end up charging faster by a little bit, but not by that much, right? Compared to the S24 Ultra. So for those people who are thinking about it and like, oh, it's not a fast charging, don't worry about it, all right? You won't even notice it. Trust me, you won't notice it. It will charge fast. And that's based on my experience. It will charge fast. Okay, so don't worry about that. The battery will last long. Just give it a week or two, and then you'll notice that big difference on it. Don't freak out, or anything, because the first week it was horrible. Then the following week it was good, and then it got better. Once the phone knew my patterns, it got really good. So yeah, there's not a lot. Also, depending on the case, like I said, Nillkin, that's what I use, and it comes with a screen protector that works with this phone. One problem I had with it was initially was that not every case works with a screen protector. So you have to think about what screen protector you're using and all that, because not every screen protector will work with every case. This one came with a screen protector, so I got a 2-for-1 for $40. And not only that, but I got it on discount. So at the time, I believe I paid like $30 maybe. So, always look for those sales. I believe there's some right now, but it is what it is. But yeah, So yeah, I mean, there's not much I could say no more on it. It's a good phone, so if you're in the market for it, go for it, buy it. If you're going from C Fold 5 like I did, it's worth the upgrade. In my opinion, it is worth the upgrade. So just do it, right? If you have a C Fold 4, you will see a big difference, especially on size. C Fold 3, 2, 1, if they're still around, you will see a huge difference on it. Going from a 4 to a 6, the screen will be a little bit bigger. Everything will be thinner. It's going to be a lot easier to use. But, that's all. So, yeah. All right, guys. Peace.